Welcome to the very first episode of Computek Talks Beyond the Classroom. Today, I'm joined by someone who wears many hats: a director of education, a big time soccer fan, a micro credential enthusiast, and a proud dad to a super cute 3-year-old. Let's welcome James Polley. Welcome, James. Welcome to the very first episode of Computek Talks Beyond the Classroom. How are you
Pleasure.
feeling?
Yeah, I'm excited about all the things that are going on right now, and I'm really excited to be the first guest on the Beyond the Classroom talks. So that's amazing.
So, like after all the calendar chaos, and we'll do it soon moments, we're finally here. But for the people who do not know you, my first question to you would be: can you please tell them about yourself? What do you do?
Sure. Yeah. So here at Computek College, I'm the director of student success, and that's a pretty complex role. I take care of educational program development, all of the aspects of faculty support with Dr. Burhay, and included in educational support and development is micro-credentials, of course. Also take care of student services and ensure that our students have a good journey from beginning to end here at Computek College. Yeah.
Great, that's amazing. That's a lot of cool stuff that you're doing at Computech.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I think that it's a good opportunity for me to bring the accumulated experience that I've had throughout my many years in the higher education world, post-secondary education world.
If you don't mind sharing, how many years have you been in this
Yeah,
education industry?
yeah. I've been doing this, and I know it doesn't look it. I've been doing this for 30 plus years. So
Amazing.
I've been doing this as long as Computek College has been around. Working in different venues, other career colleges, Schulich Executive Education. I've been working in business and government training, different organizations, different types of positions, but all related to adult education in different ways. Yeah.
Oh, great, great. And I know we are here to discuss about micro credentials.
Mhm.
Just to start with for our viewers who do not know what micro credential is, can you explain in a very layman language what micro credential program is?
Sure, sure. So micro credentials are short, they're intense programs, and when I say short, I mean somewhere between 10 and 30 hours, going over perhaps a maximum duration of maybe 3 weeks. And they're really focused on a particular skill or a particular subject matter area in a very focused way so that you can achieve and prove those competencies that you've learned. They're intense. Sometimes they're standalone e-learning. Sometimes they're hybrid, synchronized. So that means in a classroom with an instructor, and then asynchronous, where we're doing their own learning, self-paced on their own schedule, but really focused on attaining a particular skill or expertise in a very focused area.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, that Computech has been here for 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been with Computech for 3 plus years now. But in so many years, I've never heard of Computech having a micro credential program. So why did you bring, come up with this idea, came up with this idea of introducing micro credentials here at Computech? Did you see any, area of probably this growing in job market, or are students showing interest in this?
Yeah, I wish I could also be the one to claim all the credit for this. We worked together with the upper management team. They've had a vision for this, and then when I came here, I embraced that because one of our philosophies here in our program development is looking at the needs of the marketplace, and these are evidence-based needs in high growth areas, underserviced areas. And another key thing for that inspired us to do micro credentials is that something that's very important in the HR world, in the hiring world, is called skills-based hiring. So it focuses and it puts a lot of emphasis on specific skills, and this is what micro credentials do. They help to prepare you for learning specific skills. So we looked at the market and what are the high sector areas that have needs, and we identified um, micro credentials in those areas that also aligned with our programs, our larger programs as well, and matched. And we'll be looking at other um, high growth areas in the labor market and underserviced areas, and to establish more micro-credentials as we move along.
Amazing. That's
Yeah.
that's something really nice. I feel like which would benefit a lot of people right now, especially here in Canada, who are trying to get into job market but have been asked for Canadian education experience. So my next question to you would be, James, who would be the market that can enroll for such
Yeah.
courses? Can refugee claimants enroll? Can PRs, Canadian citizens? Like who all can come and start this micro credential program with Computech?
Yeah, that's a good question, Van. So there are multiple audiences for the micro-credential programs, and it would include, it's very inclusive of new Canadians, and because of their short nature, of course, protected people, refugees could take these. Um, but I'll start off and sector it a little bit. So people in any of those areas, including new Canadians, people who've lived here all their life, who are looking at a specific area as a kind of first taste before they go into a larger program. So we have micro credentials in the cybersecurity area currently right now in the healthcare area, and it gives those people the opportunity, if they don't know what it's all about, to have a taste before they jump into a full
Right.
program. Now, another audience, of course, would be our current students who are going through these programs and who are looking for some little specialization add-on. And a good example there, and I'll talk more about this program later, is the homeless shelter worker, which is a good uh, specific add-on to our CSW program that's not actually contained in the program. So we'll look at these little exit points as well. So again, a springboard into a full program, and then when you're graduating, a little area of specialization. And the other audience, I guess, would be people who are currently working in industry, who are out there working in various areas, and they want to add a particular specialization to their portfolio where they can differentiate themselves.
Oh, that's actually brilliant because I get to see a lot of students that sit across me, wondering if they can pick cybersecurity as a career because they have no background in cybersecurity. So if we come up with a micro credential where they can, learn that skill for like 2, 3 weeks or months and then decide to go ahead with the 1 year and 4 months program,
Sure.
that would be amazing.
Yeah, they're dipping their toe in the water
Yeah.
before they decide to dive right
Yeah.
in, right? And
Yeah.
see if it's for them, right?
So, James, coming to this point, you have seen so many, colleges. You have worked with so many colleges, basically. Have ever in the past had the experience of, introducing this micro credential program to any other college, or have you worked particularly with the college that has micro credential courses?
So not colleges per se, and that actually gives us a competitive advantage because in the private career college space, we're probably going to be the first in the GTA to introduce micro credentials. I've worked with shorter programs, things like micro credentials at Schulich Executive Education, and that really highlighted the value of focusing micro credentials on skills for skills-based hiring for people who are already in the labor marketplace. Um, but again, our spin is to not only focus on people in the labor marketplace, but to draw people into our larger programs and to offer something. So again, we'll be first, and that makes me proud because we want to differentiate ourselves. We don't believe in the cookie cutter approach. We want to
Right.
offer something different and something that makes us stand out as a career college.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And like, what kind of people, could enter this micro credential program? By that, I mean that, say, for example, if someone is working in the retail sector and they want to move into IT field, technology, since technology is booming right now in North America,
Mhm.
do you feel that with this micro credential program that Computech College is offering, they could get a, job in this market at?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because the answer could be yes or no. I mean, as you know, in certain areas like cybersecurity, there's a high level of expertise in IT, and so to move from a very different field would depend on the student and what other knowledge they bring with them. But the thing about micro credentials is it does offer you that taste to see if a full fledged career change is
Yes.
meant for you. So as we develop more and more micro credentials, we could give students who are moving from or people who are moving from a very different field much more of an advantage to move into a new area like cybersecurity by offering a string of micro credentials, and that's in the plans that we have for the future. So it does help them, but it also depends on what these people are bringing with them already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, James, what kind of micro credential courses are we going to offer at Computek? If you can name a few, and what skills would they teach to the students that are interested?
Okay, yeah. So currently we have three on offer. One of them is the SOC micro credential. That stands for Security Operations Center. This is under the realm of cybersecurity. Basically, it gives you the basic understanding of how to run a security operations center, and it gives you the skills of understanding the technical aspects and the operational aspects, and it's a good launch pad into other IT or cybersecurity programs. That is a standalone e-learning one, so it's self-paced. And then we have two that are tied to some of our programs. We have one, the homeless shelter worker, which sort of aligns with our community services worker program. Um, and it gives people a taste of what it means and the day-to-day operations of someone who works in a homeless shelter. And again, it can be a good introduction into a program, or it can be an add-on to people who've already completed. So they'll learn how to deal with homeless people, legislation, regulations, support systems for homeless people and homeless shelters. And then the last one is Introduction to Cybercrime. And again, it's kind of a pathway into our cybersecurity programs at Computek. But it's really focuses on a very important aspect of cybersecurity, understanding how to detect different types of cybercrime, how to recognize them, that sort of thing. Fraud, phishing, and all kinds of malware things like that. And it gives you also an introduction to the kind of tools that are used to battle cybercrime. And it sparks that interest for people, again, who want to go into a full fledged cybersecurity program or who really just have a taste for cybercrime specifically. So they're really well focused on, again, skills and skills based hiring approaches.
So, James, are these micro credential courses stackable? Like, could they lead to larger qualifications down the line?
Yeah, that's a good question, Vanchika. And the answer is going to be a little bit of yes and no. So micro credentials, and we're going to be developing more in the areas of specialization. They can be stackable to a degree, but they won't be able to add up to a bigger program because of ministry regulations. But they can help you build your professional portfolio. So if you're in a particular area, like cybersecurity or any of the other healthcare areas that we'll be developing in, you can add those. So sort of something like Introduction to the Healthcare Environment of Canada, home homeless shelter worker. You can add this to your professional portfolio that you put on LinkedIn or any other client or employer facing um, platform, that sort of thing. And and that way they are really, really valuable to build that and to add more and more value to your professional or career focused portfolio. That's the value of stocking them. We could stock them up to a certain amount and still have them run as larger programs, but that's we have to be very careful about following the rules of the ministry, that we don't violate any of their rules. But sure, add them up, build your portfolio, make yourself a better professional and more employable. That's the key, I think.
So, James, how are we at Computech ensuring that these programs are staying relevant to industry needs and future careers?
So one of the key things that we've always done here, and I think I've tried to champion, is to really do our homework, do our research into what are the labor market needs, but also talk a lot to employers. Employers inform us. they're the ones who tell us what kind of people they want, what kind of education they require. So we have things like our program advisory committees where we invite employers in and sort of guide us and direct us on what our programs should be like, including our micro credentials. We do a lot of other things too. Like I said, continuous, constant research, deep dives into growth sectors. And we also attend a lot of conferences in cybersecurity areas. We've gone to CyberX conferences, a lot of conferences and symposiums in healthcare. We learn about what's cutting edge and we try to stay ahead of that. And the key that we want to do is we don't believe in cookie cutter. We don't do cookie cutter. We don't do things just because other colleges are doing that. We add things. We improvise. We specialize and we rise above and differentiate ourselves. And it all comes down to staying close to the marketplace, staying close to the needs of employers, and making sure that that forms part of our programs because that's ultimately who we want to serve.
James, like this has been going beautifully, and you have explained us micro credentials in a way we never knew before. So
Mhm.
thank you for that. But
Pleasure.
what would be the one advice that you would like to give to someone who is still in that thinking stage that is that one micro credential course going to help me?
Okay, so one piece of advice is find out all about them. Talk to us. We're here. You can go online and get information, but you can reach out to us and talk to our team here. Talk to the people who developed and who are delivering these micro credentials, because I think that people have to understand that this is a unique opportunity for them to explore a new world that they hadn't explored before, and there's really not a lot of risk. It's all about opportunity to open more doors, and don't be afraid to ask those questions. Don't be afraid to try something new because here's an opportunity to dip your toe in the water, and then there's a beautiful ocean of education and opportunity, career opportunity ahead of you. But if you decide that's not for you, take what you've learned and regroup and refocus and come back again when you're ready for more. It's not meant to be intimidating. It's meant to be encouraging and opening the door for more and more opportunities for your career success.
That's amazing advice. Thank you so much, James.
You're
With
welcome.
this, I think I am done with the questions that I had for the day. And thank you so much for your time. And thank you for explaining us about the micro credential courses.
My pleasure, Van. I think it's something that all of us have to do here, and all of us do here
Yeah,
at Computek College, to share what we have and the unique offerings that we have, the things that set us apart, and get that out there to the audiences that we want to serve, so that they can have greater success in their careers and their professional lives. So it's
yeah,
a pleasure. I was really happy to talk about micro credentials today. So, folks, those of you watching, give us a call.
yeah.
Try one of these. Dip your toe in the water. You never know
Yes,
where it's going to go.
yes. And like for the people watching, when are we going to launch these courses?
So currently, the SOC program is already launched because it's e-learning, and you can take it anytime. And our first cohort for the homeless shelter worker and the introduction to cybercrime, they're scheduled to start on August the 4th and continue until August the 22nd. We're going to be scheduling more and more cohorts into the fall, into the winter, and we will be adding more and more micro credentials as we assess ideas, and we'll make sure that there's relevance to the marketplace and opportunity to align with our current programs as well.
Thank you so much, James. It was a pleasure having you on the very first podcast. And you
Pleasure's mine.
and that was James Polley. Thank you for joining us on Computek Talks. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories and insights from Computek College.